Hi there, Dave here. How are you? Today I'm going to do a quick little review on the Carbotech CT330X. This little guy is a fantastic benchtop planer thicknesser. It has 26 individual teeth, blades, cutters, whatever you want to call them, that are positioned around a drum on the cutter head. Each of the blades have got two sharp edges and two blunt edges. Now the sharp edges obviously are for cutting, and so you can rotate once only, 90 degrees, and you've got a brand new sharp blade ready to go. The other sides are flat on purpose, and that's because they push up against the head in the machine, and so that gives them a lot of stability. They're not relying just on the torque screw to hold them there. They've actually got that solid stop behind them that's assisting as it's cutting through the timber. Now, I'm going to start by showing you the back of the machine. And here you have the cover that sits over the top of the blades. I've already taken these little bolts off. There's 3 of those little bolts. Now, the cover over the blades acts for 2 reasons. It protects you from the blades while they're spinning like crazy, and also it's the exhaust for the fan on the motor. Now, the fan is in the head, and the exhaust, where it blows all the air out to keep it cool, comes out over the path of where the chip is being ejected from the machine already. So that's that part, and then you can see here it's fluted out to assist. Works very, very well. As I was saying, each one of these teeth have got a dot in the corner, and that dot lets you know that there is a sharp tooth, or there is a sharp edge either side of that dot. All right, that's that up there. Up here also you have a bar that comes across, and it's hooked up to the head lock, which is on this side, so I can lock the head so it doesn't move up and down at all from vibration. It stays dead still. Get rid of those things. Also up there we've got 4 posts. The head rises up and down on those 4 posts. Underneath, on the outfeed table and also on the infeed table, are these bolts with lock nuts at the base. Now they are adjustable up and down, so I can adjust the outfeed table just to raise or lower a little bit. Now I want to do that to reduce any snipe that you might find is happening if you're putting timber through the machine. If you're not aware of what snipe is, just quickly, what happens as the timber passes through the machine by the power feed. Now I've got the head raised up, I'm just showing this as an example. As it goes through the machine, it's got a roller pushing the timber in and a roller pulling the timber out. So it pulls that through at 8 meters a minute. When it goes past the first roller, there's nothing holding it except for the outfeed roller and the cutter. So the cutter's not really going to support it, it's going to want to chop into it. So as it's released, it's going to want to lift up because it does, just believe me. Anyway, if you raise this table up a little bit, that counters it. Now don't lift it up a lot, just a little bit until you find that as it comes through, there's no bump on the end of the timber there. That's called snipe, okay? Or a little depression. There are a couple of holes around the base, so I can bolt the thing down so that if I'm putting a long piece of timber through, something much longer than this and heavier, it's going to want to leverage, pull this down and wanting to lift the machine up. So something to be aware of, bolt it down if you're putting any length of timber through it. Or bolt it down as a good practice anyway. It's always a good idea. Now, the dust extraction. I was talking about how good it is. You just pop the head back in. Now, the dust port has a 4-inch outlet, a 2.5-inch outlet. This little bung will go into either side. I can pop it into the 4-inch, or I can put it over the top of the 2.5-inch. Personally, I've got a 4-inch dust extractor, so that's why I put it over the 4-inch port. So when you're putting it all back together, you slide that guy in there, and there's a bolt in the center, nice easy bolt to use. And you lock that down. That's locking it down onto the center there. And then these guys on the outside lock the whole assembly onto the head so that it's not going to go anywhere. And you can see that took no time at all. That's got it. I connect my dust extractor onto there, and away we go. When you grab a piece of timber and you're wanting to plane it, up the top here is a ruler that's already set from 0 through to 6 inches or 150 mil, and a stop there. So what you do is you get your piece of timber, put it on top of the machine, bring it up to the edge, and you can read straight away how wide it is. If you haven't got a tape on you, there's a tape up here just saying, use me if you need me. So that's 40 millimeters. So then what you do is, I'll spin the machine around so you can see what's happening. Up the top here, I've unlocked it. I can raise or lower, and you'll see just here, as I lower it down to 40, and then here's one of the really great things. Just bring it around a bit more. See this little gauge here? It goes from 0 up to 3 millimeters or 0 up to 1/8 of an inch. Covers both ways, whichever way you're comfortable measuring. Now, if I was to slide the timber in where that white dot is, white arrow, you'll see that I just have to sneak it in a little bit, and up goes the indicator. And that's telling me that I'm taking off 1 full millimeter there. So now I can raise or lower the head and adjust it, just give it a really nice fine tune. So that's only 0.5 millimeter now that I'll be taking off. I don't really want to take any more than that because I want the machine to last. If you start pushing through 2 or 3 millimeters in one pass, the machine will probably do it, but I don't know how long it's going to do it. It's just the same as driving a car. You don't drive the car flat out all the time. Well, I'm hoping you don't. And because you want your machine to last. So that's pretty basic. Now, then you lock the head, take that out, spin the machine around again so you can see. Then you've got a head lock. So we pull that across to that side. Now I've locked the head. It's not going to rise and fall from any vibration. Spin it back this way, unlock the head. Going to show you another little safety feature about the machine. Now I've got the machine unplugged while I'm doing all this, so don't go doing this while the machine's plugged into any power supply. Underneath here, there's just on the inside, about 1/2 inch in, 10 million, are anti-kickback teeth that are dropping down. I think they're called pawls, anti-kickback pawls. I don't know why, but I think they are. So if I slide this in, you can see I can't get that back out again because the anti-kickback pawls have dug in. Now this doesn't affect your cut. As you're pushing the timber through as a planer, those anti-kickbacks are only going to dig into the timber if something gets caught somewhere. But just pushing it through, it's not going to worry them. It'll go all the way through and they'll just ride over the top without making any dents. Now, to get the timber out again, if I've got it in there and I can't, for whatever reason I need to pull it out, hit the stop button, release the lock on the head and raise it up, and then we'll pull out easy. Easy done. Around on this side again, you'll see I've got these graduations here now. They're all in imperial, so I'm sorry for people that read metric. This is all in imperial. So it runs from 1/8 of an inch, which is the narrowest, the thinnest that you can put through this machine. It's even so, 1/8 of an inch is pretty cool. That's 3 mil. Up to 1 3/4 inches. Now I can move this stop backwards and forwards to wherever I want, and if I set it at say 1 inch, I can't lower the head down lower than 1 inch because there's a sliding set of stops, like steps, all the way on the inside here. And the head comes down and touches that step and can't go any lower. I'll show you a picture of it. And then when you get the machine down to that height, obviously you lock it again. Now, if I want to pick the machine up and move it around, it's very easy. I can leave the back the way that it is. I don't have to go taking the exhaust port off, all that kind of stuff. I just raise the front in-feed table, and it's got handles top and also handles underneath. And it's 42 kilos, so it's a good weight, but not too bad. About the weight of the old-fashioned bags of concrete mix. There you go. Great little machine. I had one of these for a year, and it never missed a beat. Do yourself a favour, buy it. See you later.